Welcome back. In this lesson we're going to look at what's kind of known as the blues scale, which is a kind of, not sure it actually exists, but the kind of sound of it is used a lot within the blues world. But it's kind of more how it's used that's the important thing. So let's start. The blues scale can be thought of as these notes. In the key of C, it'd be C, E flat, F, F sharp, G, B flat, and C. And it has this kind of sound. So yeah, obviously it does sound bluesy, but you can't just go up and down it, otherwise it's going to get repetitive and boring. I really want to get you playing the blues in a really authentic sounding way, and it's really what you do with it that's important, and how you mix it up with the other aspects of improvisation. But the important things for you to get to grips with now is just to get to know the sound of that so-called scale. And get it feeling natural under the fingers. So the important things there are it's got this really strong flat fifth, which is a dissonance, which sounds great when it resolves. So let's look at some little riffs and melodic ideas you can improvise using that blues scale. So rather than just going up and down it, there's a good one. Again, sounds quite fast and difficult, but it is a repetitive thing, which, when it's used in context, just does sound really authentic. For example, hear that in there. So the notes are just the first 5 notes of the blues scale, but you're rolling down them, starting on the G, and then the F sharp to the F to the E flat to the C, and I'm sliding off the F sharp to the F with the 3rd finger. And it's definitely that note is the strongest sounding note. In terms of timing, I'm kind of playing it with the G starting with the left hand and the C hitting the 2nd note of the left hand. So in a way it's just but with the other notes in between. So yeah, in terms of practicing that, start at the slowest tempo that you find that convenient. And just work up till so yeah, I think that sounded like a pretty cool blues riff. So let's look at something else. You could use repeated notes. For example, so there I'm just literally doing that. You could also add the C to that to go. it's all notes from within the blues scale. How about mixing those two riffs up, the and the, so we could have, or, now the beauty of the blues scale is that you can, depending what notes you're using from it, you can use it over all the chords in the 12-bar blues sequence. So there, it works on the C and on the F. And we could try it on the G. A 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So yeah, something that you can use as a repeated thing throughout the whole 12-bar sequence, and sounds pretty cool. And kind of what I love about that idea is that you're playing the same riff, but when you move up to a different chord, it's the same riff, but it's in a different context. So it kind of takes on a different character. Adding the C to the repeated G just gives it some extra weight, and suddenly with that we're really into the territory of things that you'll hear on classic blues records. That kind of thing. And if you move it up the octave, you get a kind of that really sort of jangly high-end piano thing that you'll hear on all sorts of records. 3, 4. I mean, that particular thing I played was a bit repetitive, kind of staying around the same octave, but it just sounds like something you might hear on a classic blues record. And the aim now is to really start sort of mixing things up. So we've got our kind of blues scale ideas there. We also have our riffs in our riffs from previous lessons. So between the two of them, I think we can generate something that sounds really authentic and a kind of classic sounding piece of blues piano. So before we finish this lesson, I will go around the 12-bar a couple of times and just show you a few different variations of things you can do with that blues scale. Don't worry if some of it seems a little ambitious at the moment. It's just for some ideas, and of course you can keep replaying the video to see what I'm doing. So here we go. A 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, obviously some quite involved stuff there, but it was all using the blues scale. So yeah, have a go at working out some stuff I was doing, and I'll put as much of that stuff as possible in the PDF for you to check out.